family, welcome to Cooking with Abba. Today, if you happen to be lactose intolerant or you don't take dairy, this is the milk for you. And if you want a high protein plant-based milk, this is the milk for you. This is soya bean milk, which is made from dried soya beans. So usually soya beans is dried to preserve it, and in Ghana we have quite a lot of it. And the fact about soya beans is they are high in nutrients, low in carbs, and so they are one of those very healthy legumes to go with. So I begin by actually washing this and picking the dirty or the spoiled ones from it. And like I said, soya beans is very nutritious because it has high protein content. Is the legume of choice when it comes to protein as well, and it's good for even people who are malnourished and all those things. But because we sell it in our local market with a lot of dirt, it's good to pick it, it's good to wash it quite a number of times till it's very clean. And because soya is very hard, you need to really let it sit and soak for about 8 to 10 hours to soften it up as well. So you can even do it overnight and then use it the next day, or you do it in the morning and then you work with it in the evening. So you need that 8 to 12 hours kind of thing in there. You're going to get a bit of cloudiness on the top when it's actually softening, and you see it double up as well because the shell or the skin is very, very hard. The beautiful thing about this milk is that it doubles up. So even though I used the margarine cup one, which is how they call it in the local language, but this is like 2 standard cups, I ended up getting so much milk. You realize the beans, it too basa basa basa. So you want to soak it, and once you're done soaking, you definitely have to wash it out. So I usually wash it under running water, and I use the Soya or the strainer or the colander or the perforated pans to help me actually wash the fermentation or the water away, because I don't need that water in there. So just wash that as well. Washing is very essential. Use clean and good water. Don't forget that these days typhoid and things is around, so be careful. So once I'm done, I'm just going to actually blend this up, and I'm going to blend it with enough water. Later I had to split it up because I realized it was doubling. I realized it was struggling to really blend to be very smooth. If it's too much in like this, it becomes too thick and it becomes very hard to really blend it and blend it very well. In as much as you don't want to have so much water going into your soya mixture, you also don't want it to be too thick, or you won't be able to really squeeze out all the milk from the pulp or the flesh, or how you want to call it. So yes, once I was done, I do what I call the double sieving first and foremost. So I have a strainer which is bigger in, like, the mouth is a bit bigger, let me say it like that. Then I have one which is smaller, then I actually pass it through. Then I'm going to still use my Soya as a guide to prevent the mesh from going out. So this is whichever cloth you want to use, whether it's nylon, a hanky, just make sure it's clean and neat. So this has less space in, which is going to help me squeeze out the rest of the juice or the milk from the seed part. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And I realized one thing, that Charlie, using the spatula versus using the ladle is way better. The ladle gives you better results, and the ladle takes out most of the water in there as well. So once you are done with that, you have to obviously squeeze out all the milk from the mesh. And this part is a chaff. You can put it under your plant or something. But I don't know, maybe if you have any recipe or something we can do with it, we can try that out. But I didn't really use this. I gave it to the chickens to also enjoy some. Yes, remember your pets as well. So yes, you have to just squeeze everything out. And like I said, it's easy when you go this way. So I'm taking out the main chaff from it. Then I washed the net again, and I'm going to now make sure that I re-sieve everything once more. So in a clean bowl, I'm going to put the double strainer in, and then the mesh as well on it. Then I'm going to pass everything through. Well, I didn't really research or find out why I had so much foam. Maybe it's about how I blended it or something, but I had quite an amount of foam in there, and I'm just going to like rerun it again. So technically I've sieved it like 3 or 4 times now. Then that part is going to go onto the stove. So you want to essentially make sure that you're getting most of the milk, but you don't want to have the chaff or the debris in, and that will mean you really doing a lot of straining to get it very well done, unless you have something that can like process just the milk for you. Like if you have a processor, a food processor that can just crush it and juice everything for you, then you are blessed in there. So once I'm done, this is my milk in there, which I'm going to put onto the fire. If you drink this fresh like this, well, I think you don't really get so much of a very nice taste. And number two, soya milk can be very funny. It can peg you if you don't do it well. So to avoid that and to cook and preserve it and to reduce some of the active ingredients that would also stay longer on the shelf, you have to really cook this for it to come to a good boil. And as it's cooking, the foamy part that was in, it will start how do I say, forming like a cling fling or something on the top. Don't be so worried about it. I usually put the foamy part around the saucepan so that it dries up over there, and then I actually just let it boil, and that also kind of improves it as well. Once it boils very well, and then you can see even from the color that it has changed, you realize that it's not foaming up so much, and the foamy part is less, then you actually know that your soya milk is actually good to go. So you just have to let it sit down and then cool down as well. The cooling down, let it cool down like virtually completely, but not cold. Yes, once it cools down, you're going to get the thick layer over it. I'm just going to peel it, and because I kept the skin around it, when I pulled, it also pulled with the skin. That is like rubbery and textury in there, and that one you're not going to really use it, so you put that aside, and you just strain your milk once more, because sometimes you may have some of the fiber or the chaff which you try to pick out still staying in, and that's your soya milk. So you can try to sweeten it with some milk, and I like to add in a little bit of essence as well to improve the fragrance as well. Typically they also sell, sometimes add dairy milk to it, so they adulterate the whole thing, and that's where the challenge is. So I say it's always best you buy your own soya, and then you make your own soya milk. That way you can trust the process that this is pure soya milk. The problem is sometimes you think you're buying pure soya milk and you're buying something else. And see how creamy this is. This is not watery. This is still tasty. The color looks good. It smells better, and it's easy. Like just one margarine cup, like we call it here, just that is 2 standard cups. Look at how much soya milk I got in here. I got quite a lot of bottles, plus my mason jar which I drank there and then, just formed just what, 2 standard cups of soya. So you definitely have to try this out for the whole family as well. So I see you in the next food moment. Do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love from my team and I. Mwah.